¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome to another video. My name is Pedro Millán. If you haven't watched any of my videos, I own 2 social media marketing agencies that make multiple 6 figures every single year. We have literally more than 68 million views as of the past 2 years that we've literally been in business, have more than 100 appointments booked, and we have a Grammy campaign that we actually won the freaking Grammy last year. So in this video, I just want to basically talk about the title and the thumbnail, more so about like what is going on with Auld Syne, what does it represent, how you can actually go into 2026 literally going from 0 to 100 or 0 to hero and actually make a life where you can make content and make money at the same time. So let's get into it. So every New Year's Eve, we all stand around singing Auld Syne, right? So it's essentially the song that everybody takes into consideration, like where there's a lot of crying, a lot of hugging, a lot of fresh starts, etc., etc., etc. And then we wake up on January 2nd, and then we go right back to the same habits, which is kind of crazy, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you, Auld Syne is a scam. Okay, not the song, but essentially the mindset around it, okay? And if you're trying to make money online with content, this New Year's nostalgia is literally keeping you broke. So in this video, I'm basically gonna show you how the New Year's fantasy actually hurts creators more so than anything else, and what to do instead in 2026 to actually win, and it be the first year where you actually make content that actually pays you, okay? So what does Auld Syne actually represent? Just a brief explanation is this basically an old Scottish song that's sung at midnight on New Year's, right? And it's all about old times, it's all about memories, it's all about nostalgia and friends. And my angle is basically like, there's nothing wrong with nostalgia or any of those feelings. The scam is basically thinking a song and a date will actually magically turn you into a consistent wealthy content creator, which is not necessarily true. The contrast here is essentially an emotional versus a behavioral reset, right? Because that's the only thing that we can do, like behaviorally or objectively rather. So most people get emotional and then never change the system, which essentially like puts them essentially in the places where they don't want to be rather than where they want to be, right? So the New Year fantasy that keeps the creator stuck is essentially patterns such as, this year I'm going to post every day, this year I'm going to take content seriously, this year I'm finally going to start my YouTube, this year I want a silver play button. And basically why it fails is because it's vague. It's built on vibes, not a structure, okay? It doesn't necessarily touch who you serve, who you want to help out, what's the problem that you solve, how the content leads to money, and not just views. So you don't need more emotional moments at midnight. You need to be consistent with a boring, repeatable system at 10 a.m. every single day, especially on a Wednesday when you don't want to do it, right? So the real game in 2026 is essentially volume and direction, more so than anything else. So I want you to understand that, yes, 2026 equates to more volume. That means short form everywhere, even long form everywhere as much as you do short form, right? Because the reps is what matters over perfection, because volume without direction equals noise. However, if you have direction, whereas you know who you're talking to, you know what problem you're basically helping them with, being overwhelmed, consistently making money with content, in my sense, or whatever it is that you could be doing, what transformation you're basically trying to help these people with in general, as far as like whether it's to lose weight or to, basically make people more money or make better recipes, etc., etc., etc. Auld Syne is like deciding to travel more next year. A content strategy, such as the people who watch these videos or go to my channel for all the reasons that they do, is basically buying a ticket, booking a room, and packing your bag, setting up an itinerary, and doing the dang thing, okay? So what we're going to develop here is essentially the anti-Auld Syne framework, which is what I call the rule of one, which is the rule of one for creators in 2026 should be one niche that you basically help, one main problem that you know you want to solve, and one home platform where you prioritize, being YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, one content bank, which essentially all your ideas live, like Google Sheets, Notion, your Notes app, it doesn't matter. Your batching rhythm as far as like how you make content, at least an enormous amount of content in very short periods of time, and one planner to repost everywhere, like your Metricool, like your Buffer, like your Hootsuite, and everything else. So how this makes you money more so than anything else is that one person plus one problem equals a clear offer, right? So like then you can optimize for strategy calls, audits, done for you content, digital products, whatever it is that you're basically trying to put out into the nether regions, being, you know, your social media platforms. The one platform, right, gives you depth, and not only gives you depth, but also it doesn't give you scattered energy like I have in the past when I tried to do a billion things under the sun. One system essentially means that you can even post on busy days, meaning that you have content on a consistent basis going out, whether if you want to or not. create them at any given point, and one planner is essentially so that you always maintain omnipresence without burning out, right? The people who make money online with content in 2026 aren't necessarily the ones who felt the most during Auld Lang Syne. It's essentially they're the ones who picked one lane and basically hit it like 300 times, no questions asked. So how do we turn nostalgia into fuel using your past year as data, right? So I want you to understand, instead of going about your day at literally on January 1st when you're watching this, or whenever when you're watching this, instead of going like remembering last year and like all the good memories and this, that, and whatever, look at which topics that got most watch time, look at which videos actually led to DMs, clients, inquiries, and what styles was the easiest for you to film. And then ask what worked, what didn't work, what felt good to make, what actually moved money or opportunity, right? And then double down on those things and then cut the dead weight. Very simple. So in this video, I want you to literally take a little exercise and write down 3 videos from last year that you're absolutely proud of and ask what did they have in common, right? Like that's essentially your seed for your strategy into 2026, because what works is gonna work. Shout out to Jack Trout and Al Reese with positioning. It's like literally the best marketing strategy is the first, and you can't beat the first because the first always works. Bars. Anyway, I hope everything that you loved in this video. I just want to make sure that you're taking into consideration that Auld Lang Syne isn't evil. The scam is basically believing a calendar flip equals a new life, which that's not necessarily true. I know a bunch of people who say like, oh, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna do all this other stuff, and they never do, especially come around October, and then they freak out and they basically do nothing. So if you keep repeating the same habits, new year, new me is never going to help you out. It's basically going to turn into old year, same you, just with better lighting. So if you're serious about making money online with content in 2026, then treat this year like your business and not just a wish. So if you like the video so much, you could basically like it and subscribe to the channel, because I would really appreciate it. Trying to get that silver play button this year, and would really appreciate the help. Otherwise, if you want to basically learn how to make a social media marketing agency that takes you to 6 figures in roughly less than 90 days, you can basically hit up the first link in the description. We basically developed that product for this year, and a lot of people are on there already, and we'd love to see you there. Otherwise, don't stop watching now. If you like the video already, then literally just check out one of the videos here that was recommended by YouTube. Would really appreciate the view and for the additional watch time. On top of that, I hope you have a great year this year, and don't let Auld Lang Syne determine how 2026 goes. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.